Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Fatia Nabila binti Zunaidi.
My name is Nur Sahira binti Syahimi.
My name is Nur Afika Batrisha binti Muhammad Zaidi.
My name is Wan Nuzlaika Islim binti Zamal.
Today we are going to discuss about matrices. Do you guys have any ideas about matrices?
Yes, I do. After I made some research, we can know that a matrix is a rectangular number of array of numbers enclosed between brackets. The general form of a matrix consists of m rows and n columns. The numbers that make up a matrix are called its entries and elements. There are also several types of matrix, which are row matrix, as it is one row, column matrix, where it consists of one column, square matrix, zero matrix, which every entry is zero, diagonal matrix, where all the elements are zero except those in leading diagonal, identity matrix, where all its diagonal entries are 1 and denoted by I, lower triangular matrix, and upper triangular matrix. So, Sahira, do you have any idea what matrices can be applied in our daily life?
Yes, for your information, matrices are applied in the study of electrical circuit, quantum mechanics, and optics. It helps in the calculation of battery power output, resistor conversion of electrical energy into another useful energy. Therefore, matrices play a major role in calculation, especially in solving the problem using Kirchhoff's law of voltage and current. It helps in studying quantum physics and music. Fatia, what do you think about when to use matrices in our daily life?
I think that one of the most common application of matrices in our daily life is construction sector. Have you seen some building that are straight, but sometimes architects try to change the outer structure of the building, like Burj Khalifa?
Yes.
Yes.
This can be done with matrices. A matrix is made of rows and columns, so we can change the number of rows and columns within matrix. Matrices also can help us to support various historical structures. Afika, do you know how matrices can help us to solve a real-life problem?
Yes, based on my research, matrices can be used to solve problems related to cryptography. Cryptography is the technique to encrypt data so that only the relevant person can get the data and information. In earlier days, video signals were not used to encrypt. Anyone with a satellite dish was able to watch videos, which resulted in the loss for satellite owners. So they started encrypting the video signals so that only those who have video ciphers can unencrypt the signals. This process is done by using matrices. Hence, matrices are important in cryptography. Zulaika, why do you think we need matrices in our daily life?
From my research, I found out that matrices can be used for plotting graph, statistics, and also to do scientific studies and research in almost different fields. Matrices can also be used to represent real-world data like the population of people, infant mortality rate, and etc. They are the best representation methods for plotting surveys. Zahira, do you have another opinion on why we need matrices in our daily life?
Yes, another opinion why we need matrices in daily life is because matrices are so useful in computer science is that graph. In this context, a graph is a mathematical construct consisting of nodes, usually depicted as circle and edge and also depicted as line between them. Network diagrams and family tree are familiar examples of graph, but in computer science, they are used to represent everything from operation performed during the execute of a computer program to the relationship characteristic of logistic problem. What do you think about when to use matrices, Fatia?
We know that matrices are used more in daily life than people would have thought. So in fact, it is in front of us every day when going to work, at the college, or even at home. Graphic software like Adobe Photoshop that is in our personal computer also uses matrices to process linear transformation to render the images. A square matrix can represent a linear transformation of a geometric object. Furthermore, in Cartesian xy plane, the matrix 0, -1, 1, 0 reflects an object in vertical y-axis. So in a video game, this could render the upside-down mirror image of the assassin that is reflected in a point of blood. If the video game has curved reflection surfaces, such as a shiny metal shield, matrix would be more complicated to stretch or shrink the reflection. So Afika, can you give us some example that is related to matrices?
Yes, I also found out that matrices can be used in computer graphics. Earlier architecture, cartoons, and automation were done by hand drawings, but nowadays they are done by using computer graphics. Square matrices very easily represent linear transformation of objects. They are used to project three-dimensional image into two-dimensional planes in the field of graphics. In graphics, the rows and columns of the matrix correspond to rows and columns of pixels, and the numerical entries correspond to the pixels' color values. Zulaika, do you have any idea when are we going to use matrices?
Yes, based on my research, I found out that there are also application of matrices in business and economics. The idea of application of matrices in business is that you have multiple inputs and you have multiple outputs, and you are trying to predictively model changes in dependent variables by examining the impact of numerous independent variables that do provide explanation. The coefficient factors of the variables used lend themselves to a matrix form. This is how application of matrices in business is used. So I think that is all we can conclude from our research on matrices in our daily life. Therefore, we end our discussion today here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.